If your home looks fine but still somehow feels generic, the problem may not be your budget. It may simply be missing the details that make a room feel finished. Right now, some of the strongest home trends are moving toward richer materials, deeper wood tones, tailored window treatments, natural texture, and pieces that feel collected rather than mass-produced. So I found 8 Amazon home upgrades that tap into those ideas without pushing into designer pricing. And more importantly, each one works for a specific design reason. First are the StangH brown velvet curtains. Deep brown is becoming a powerful alternative to endless beige, and velvet makes the color feel even richer because it reacts beautifully to light. What really makes these curtains work is visual weight. Thin curtains can disappear into a room, while velvet creates a stronger frame around the window and gives pale interiors more contrast. Mounting curtains higher and wider than the actual window can also make the ceiling feel taller and the window appear larger. So this is not just about fabric, it can actually change the perceived proportions of the room. Next are the LazBlinds bamboo Roman shades. These work for a completely different reason: texture. Rooms filled with smooth walls, flat cabinetry, and simple fabrics can start to feel sterile. Woven bamboo immediately introduces warmth and natural variation without adding more decorative objects. Roman shades also look cleaner than standard blinds because they read as one structured surface instead of dozens of thin slats. And because these are designed for no-drill installation, they can be a strong option for renters as well. For an even more layered look, bamboo shades can work beautifully behind curtains. That combination of texture and softness is one of the easiest ways to make a basic window feel more custom. Number 3 is the Stead Fluted Half-Moon console table in walnut. This may be the strongest furniture piece in the group. Dark walnut immediately gives a room depth, but the shape is what makes this piece more interesting. The half-moon silhouette feels softer than a standard rectangular console, which can work especially well in entryways or smaller spaces. Then there is the fluted detailing. Those vertical lines create subtle shadows across the surface, giving the furniture more dimension without making it overly decorative. And because the piece also provides storage, it combines visual impact with function. Instead of covering a generic console with accessories to make it interesting, you start with furniture that already has presence. Number 4 is the gold scalloped mirror. Mirrors already help reflect light and expand sightlines, but this one works because the frame itself becomes part of the room. The scalloped edge introduces curves and repetition, while the gold finish adds warmth. It is decorative without becoming too ornate, so it can work above a console, dresser, bathroom vanity, or in a hallway. The lesson here is simple. Sometimes a mirror should not disappear into the wall. The frame can be the focal point. Number 5 is the nearly natural 6-foot ficus tree. Artificial greenery often looks cheaper when there are lots of tiny plants scattered around the room. One large tree can have the opposite effect. Scale matters. A 6-foot tree fills vertical space, softens an empty corner, and helps connect low furniture with the height of the room. At that size, it starts to feel less like a small decorative accessory and more like part of the architecture. This is a trick you see constantly in professionally styled interiors. Fewer objects, but larger ones. One substantial tree can usually make a stronger visual statement than several small plants sitting on shelves. Number 6 is the Bellaa Decorative Book Box Set. This one is all about reducing visual noise. Remote controls, chargers, keys, and small everyday objects can make even a beautiful room look messy. These boxes look like decorative vintage books, but they can hide the things you actually use. That makes them useful on coffee tables, consoles, shelves, or nightstands. The reason this feels more polished than a visible organizer is that the storage disappears into the decor. The room stays practical without looking like it's constantly trying to organize itself. Number 7 is the Koville Travertine Tray. Travertine works because natural stone adds visual weight even to a very small object. A tray also creates a boundary around smaller items. Instead of having a candle, perfume bottle, jewelry, or soap dispenser sitting separately, grouping them on one surface makes the arrangement look much more intentional. You can use something like this in a bathroom, bedroom, living room, or kitchen. It's a good reminder that an inexpensive upgrade can still feel elevated if the material is doing the visual work. Finally, there is the reeded glass privacy film. This one is interesting because it changes the architecture you already have. Reeded glass creates vertical texture while still allowing light through, but replacing actual glass can get expensive very quickly. Privacy film gives you a similar effect without replacing the window or cabinet panel. It can work on bathroom windows, office doors, glass cabinets, or entry doors where you want more privacy without blocking natural light. The vertical pattern also helps ordinary builder-grade glass feel more intentional and architectural. And that's really what connects all 8 of these products. A more expensive-looking home is rarely about filling the room with expensive things. It's about choosing better texture, proportion, contrast, materials, and scale. Velvet adds depth. Bamboo adds texture. Walnut creates contrast. Fluting adds dimension. Curves soften the room. Large greenery improves scale. Hidden storage reduces clutter. Stone adds richness, and reeded glass makes a basic surface feel more considered. You definitely don't need all 8. Look at your own space and figure out what's missing. If everything feels too pale, add contrast. If the room feels flat, add texture. If it feels boxy, introduce curves. If the windows feel unfinished, improve the window treatment. If the room feels cluttered, hide the clutter before buying more decor. And if it feels empty, think bigger instead of adding more small accessories. I've linked all 8 products below so you can check the current prices, sizes, and finishes. And if you like affordable pieces that make your home feel more custom, polished, and intentional, subscribe to Luxe for Less, because a better-looking home usually doesn't require buying everything. It requires choosing better.